Okay, let's unpack this. Picture this. You know, that ancient treadmill,
Yeah.
gathering dust in the spare bedroom.
Uh-huh.
Or maybe, like, a mountain of cardboard boxes threatening to take over your garage. We all accumulate stuff, right?
Oh, absolutely. It's kind of a constant in modern life, isn't it? That
Yeah.
slow creep of unwanted belongings.
Yeah. And then comes the inevitable question. When it's time to say goodbye,
Hmm.
what actually happens to it all?
And it's more than just the big, bulky items. Think about old electronics tucked away in drawers or the leftovers from that DIY project you swore you'd finish.
Don't remind me. Or the kids' toys they've totally outgrown.
Exactly.
So in this deep dive, we're tackling that very challenge. We're zeroing in on the world of junk removal, and our focus today is specifically on the services offered by Rapid Haul Away, right there in Midland, Washington.
Right. We've taken a pretty close look at Rapid Haulaway's website, just to get a clear understanding of the different ways they actually help people declutter and dispose of unwanted items.
Our goal today is to really understand the nuts and bolts. How do you get rid of unwanted stuff efficiently, responsibly in the Midland area? We want to explore, like, what they take, how they operate, and really why someone might choose a service like this in the first place.
Yeah, it's not just about making things vanish, is it? It's about the convenience, the responsible disposal aspect, and ultimately just freeing up your space and your time, I guess.
Totally. So let's start with the foundational stuff.
Mhm.
What are the main services Rabbit Haul Away actually offers?
Okay. Well, right off the bat, they talk about general junk removal.
General junk.
And when they say general, it seems pretty all-encompassing. Their list includes stuff like clutter, furniture, appliances, mattresses, even hot tubs.
On Cubs, wow.
Yeah, plus debris, yard waste, and all sorts of, random odds and ends. It sounds like they're prepared for pretty much anything that isn't, like, hazardous waste.
That wide scope is pretty crucial, isn't it? It tells you they can likely handle a lot of different scenarios, maybe getting rid of a single old couch or, I don't know, clearing out an entire storage unit.
Exactly. And notice how they emphasize making it easy for you. They mention fast and flexible scheduling and a fast and easy booking process.
And this is something that really caught my eye. They say you can just text US for a quote, and that they offer lightning fast quotes. That sounds incredibly simple, like no need for long phone calls or waiting around forever.
Yeah, that texting feature is interesting. Cuts down the friction.
Plus, they claim to have the best prices in the area and promise straightforward pricing. No pressure, no hidden fees.
Yeah.
That's the promise anyway.
Right. And there's that 10% saving if you book online, too.
Oh, yeah. That's a pretty enticing package, all told.
It is. I mean, being upfront about pricing and making it easy to get in touch are really important for any service business, right? Yeah. Now, let's maybe dig a little deeper into some of their specific removal services. Starting with home cleanouts. This is where people can often feel, well, the most overwhelmed.
Absolutely. They really seem to tap into that feeling of being just overwhelmed with stuff inside your own home.
Yeah.
It's something so many of us can relate to, I think.
Totally.
And their approach sounds very tailored. They talk about figuring out your specific needs, suggesting solutions, and only starting work once you're completely happy with the plan.
That personalized touch seems key. It's not just, a crew showing up and clearing everything out blindly. They specifically mention handling everything from entire houses down to those forgotten zones like basements, attics, storage areas.
The black holes of the home.
Exactly. We all have those areas where things just seem to multiply.
And, for anyone even thinking about putting their house on the market, this kind of service feels like a bit of a no-brainer. They point out how decluttering can transform a space, makes it look better in photos, potentially leads to a faster sale, maybe even at a higher price. That's a really concrete benefit to consider.
It really is. First impressions are huge in real estate. Now, shifting slightly, let's think about estate and foreclosure cleanouts. These are often situations that come with a whole different set of emotional considerations.
Definitely. They do highlight the sensitivity involved, especially when you're dealing with something like an inheritance.
Right.
They mentioned removing things like old furniture, appliances that don't work anymore, personal items, basically, years of accumulated belongings. It sounds like they understand the sheer volume and the emotional weight that can be attached.
And their focus on working efficiently within agreed timelines and budgets, that's also really critical in these situations. Often there are deadlines, financial constraints.
Yeah. Things need to happen quickly sometimes.
And the website even touches on those difficult decisions, when inheriting a property. It acknowledges the emotional side of deciding what to keep and offers their help to make it more manageable, more respectful.
Okay, moving on to a space I think a lot of us struggle to keep under control.
Yeah.
The garage.
Ah, the
They
garage.
perfectly describe that I might need this someday mentality. I know I've got stuff in my garage I haven't seen in years.
Oh, without a doubt. The garage becomes this kind of holding cell, doesn't it? For items that don't quite fit anywhere else or things we vaguely intend to fix or use again someday.
Totally.
Rapid Haul Away gives specific examples: old furniture, broken appliances, sports gear the kids outgrew ages ago, forgotten tools,
Mystery boxes.
and those ever-present mystery boxes.
Yeah.
Exactly. What do you think are the biggest culprits in most garages, realistically?
Oh man, I'd bet on old sporty equipment and like those random boxes of cables and adapters that you have no idea what they even belong to anymore.
A tech graveyard.
And the ultimate reward they talk about is getting back that actual usable space. Imagine being able to park your car in the garage again. That's a real win for a lot of people.
It truly is a significant improvement in daily life for some, I bet. Now let's shift gears a little. Let's talk about their demolition services. This is sort of a step beyond just getting rid of regular household junk.
Right. This is about actually removing unwanted structures. They list examples like fences that are falling apart, decks that are rotting away,
Old sheds.
sheds that are no longer used, yeah, and even entire detached garages or carports that have definitely seen better days.
What's important here, I think, is that they outline the whole process. It's not just tearing something down. Crucially, it's about removing all the resulting debris, leaving the property clean and ready for whatever's next.
That saves the homeowner a massive amount of work, often really back-breaking work, too.
For sure.
Next up, they mentioned property cleanouts. This sounds like a broader service maybe for different kinds of situations.
Exactly. This seems to cover things like commercial buildings, residential properties, and even rental units between tenants.
Ah, okay. Landlord stuff.
Yeah. The common thread is the need for, like, a quick and thorough removal of unwanted items to prepare the space for its next use, whether that's a new owner, new renters, or maybe a business reopening.
Makes sense. Okay, let's talk about specific types of items now, starting with appliances. Anyone who's ever had to wrestle an old washing machine out of their basement knows it is not a simple task.
Hey, yeah. It's definitely a disposal challenge, as they rightly put it. They highlight their expertise in safely disconnecting and removing those bulky things: refrigerators, stoves, washers, dryers.
And importantly,
And importantly, they emphasize environmentally responsible recycling. Why is using a service like this for appliance removal so important, do you think?
well, I imagine it's not just the sheer weight and awkwardness. Appliances often contain materials you can't just throw in the regular trash, right?
Yeah.
Stuff that needs special handling.
Precisely. Things like refrigerants, other components, they can be harmful to the environment if not disposed of properly. Many areas have specific rules about this, so using a service that understands and handles the recycling responsibly is a big plus.
Absolutely.
Mm.
And speaking of things that are a pain to get rid of, what about old TVs? I think many of us have an old television lurking somewhere, basement, attic.
Another really common scenario, isn't it? You upgrade to a nice new TV and suddenly you've got the old one sitting there. They mention handling both those older, bulkier tube TVs and the more modern flat screens.
Okay, good.
And just like with appliances, they also take other outdated electronics, DVD players, gaming consoles again, focusing on responsible recycling. It's a convenient way to deal with all that e-waste in one go.
Now, for something a bit more organic, yard waste, it just seems to accumulate endlessly, doesn't it? Especially after a storm or if you're doing a lot of gardening.
Exactly. And they offer a really convenient solution here. They collect all that yard debris, branches, leaves, clippings directly from your property.
Oh, nice.
So you don't have to worry about bagging it all up and dragging it to the curb. They even mention